credit to Caitlin Clark fans and the nuclear backlash that A'ja Wilson is getting right now over the the reveal of her Nike.
This week brought an undeniable reality check for A.A. Wilson, one that could echo throughout her professional career. This is not a minor setback. It is a moment that has the power to redefine her place in the sport. For the past 2 years, Wilson has focused intensely on Caitlin Clark, believing she had complete dominion over the league while viewing Clark as a rising threat. But Team USA shattered that assumption. Wilson was not only left off the roster, she was completely removed from the preliminary selection pool. At the same time, Caitlin Clark was handed a starting spot in the senior national team pool for the 2026 World Cup and the highly anticipated 2028 Olympics. The decision was about far more than stats or accolades. It was a comprehensive evaluation of which players could thrive on the international stage. Wilson's game relies heavily on favorable officiating and exploiting the WNBA rule set. Her drives to the basket, frequent free throws, and scoring often hinge on referees calling fouls in her favor. While this strategy has been remarkably effective in the WNBA, it is a major liability in international play. FIA referees allow significantly more contact and encourage a fast physical style of basketball. On this stage, Wilson's reliance on fouls and interruptions becomes a fundamental weakness, leaving her vulnerable against elite competition. Wilson's reaction to Clark's rise further worked against her. Her social media posts, interviews, and public commentary over the last 2 years consistently undermined Clark, attempting to diminish her accomplishments and maintain her own status. Team USA's coaching staff observed these behaviors meticulously, noting every passive-aggressive comment, every cryptic post, and every interview shot aimed at Clark. This was not only a test of skill, but a thorough assessment of character, professionalism, and the ability to contribute positively to team culture. In stark contrast, Caitlin Clark is focused entirely on her craft. Her dedication, humility, and consistency made her an obvious choice for the national pool. She allowed her performance to speak for itself, never engaging in petty rivalries or undermining others. Her professionalism and character complemented her undeniable skill, ensuring that she could thrive in any basketball environment, domestic or international. Team USA's decision sends a crystal-clear message. Talent alone is not enough. Character, professionalism, adaptability, and the ability to contribute positively to team dynamics are equally important. Players who foster growth, embrace teamwork, and maintain a constructive attitude are rewarded. Those who engage in jealousy, pettiness, or toxicity, no matter how decorated, are left behind. Wilson's relentless campaign against Clark ultimately backfired, eroding her reputation while simultaneously elevating Clark's standing. This moment is about more than just roster selection. It is a lesson for the entire league. Toxic behavior has real, tangible consequences, while professionalism and skill consistently open doors. Clark's rise and Wilson's exclusion highlight how mindset conduct
by Chelsea Gray into A'ja Wilson.
Now let's put this into perspective. Imagine being widely regarded as one of the greatest talents in the WNBA, a player whose name has been synonymous with the league itself, only to have a career-defining opportunity snatched away. That is exactly what happened to A.A. Wilson. For years, she carried herself as the face of the league, fully confident that her spot on Team USA was untouchable. Yet, in a stunning turn of events, she was excluded from the preliminary roster while Caitlin Clark, a rising star she had spent 2 years trying to overshadow, was elevated to a starting position on the senior national team pool. This was not a random or superficial decision. The coaches and scouts at Team USA conducted a meticulous evaluation, analyzing how each player's skills would translate to high-level international competition. Wilson's approach, highly effective within the WNBA, relies on drawing fouls, exploiting referee calls, and creating scoring opportunities that hinge on the controlled environment of her domestic league. She averages nearly a dozen free throws per game, a number that might look impressive at first glance. But behind the stats is a method that is inherently situational, perfect for the WNBA, but a liability on the global stage. In international play, where physicality is higher and officiating favors continuous flow, Wilson's dependence on whistle-driven scoring collapses. Caitlin Clark, in contrast, operates in a way that transcends any league or officiating style. Her game is built on fundamentals, precision, high basketball IQ, and adaptability. Clark shoots from extreme range, frequently from 30 to 35 feet, and completes her plays regardless of contact. Her step-back threes and quick, intelligent footwork allow her to maintain scoring efficiency in any environment, whether the referees are strict or lenient. Clark's success is self-generated, not dependent on the environment or favorable calls. This is a distinction that Team USA valued most. A player who creates her own opportunities versus one who depends on external factors. Wilson's off-court behavior further solidified the coach's decision. Over the past 2 years, she engaged in a relentless campaign against Clark, making pointed comments, questioning Clark's legitimacy, and undermining her achievements publicly. While Wilson might have believed she was protecting her own legacy, Team USA leadership interpreted these actions as detrimental to team cohesion and professional integrity. Coaches prioritize not only talent, but also the ability to maintain harmony, set an example, and uplift teammates. Wilson's persistent negativity was a red flag, demonstrating a lack of emotional maturity necessary for representing the country at the highest level. Clark, on the other hand, has consistently demonstrated professionalism, humility, and laser-focused dedication to improvement. She never responded to Wilson's provocations. Instead, she allowed her performance to speak volumes. Her composure under pressure, ability to handle adversity gracefully, and focus on team success made her an ideal candidate for international.
Asia, it looked like they really were intentional about going to Aaliyah in the second half. What was, I guess, difficult about containing her? I know you guys kind of touched on a few things, maybe with the foul calls, but what made it successful for them to keep going to her tonight?
I don't know. You're going to have to ask Aaliyah that question. I honestly, you just do your work. You got to do your work early and make it different. But Aaliyah did say I have a special whistle. And she shot 13 today.
She said that to you?
Yeah. Yeah. She said it last game I had a special whistle, which is cool. So we just got to play better defense, make her look a little difficult, and kind of go from there.
The story of A.A. Wilson and Caitlin Clark is ultimately a lesson in preparation, adaptability, and the stark realities of international basketball. While Wilson thrived in the WNBA environment, her game relied heavily on an infrastructure designed to favor offensive players who can manipulate officiating and draw fouls. In her domestic league, every exaggerated motion, every subtle flail to the hoop, and every appeal to referees resulted in additional free throws, points, and perceived dominance. It worked brilliantly in the controlled, familiar setting of the WNBA, allowing her to post impressive statistics and maintain a reputation as one of the league's premier scorers. However, when those same methods were evaluated against the global standard, cracks immediately appeared. International basketball operates under a vastly different set of rules and philosophies. Games are more physical, officiating allows greater contact, and referees prioritize continuous play over frequent stoppages. The very strategies that elevated Wilson in the WNBA became vulnerabilities in this environment. Every shot she attempted that depended on a whistle, every drive designed to provoke a foul, and every appeal to officials suddenly became liabilities. Team USA coaches, tasked with assembling a roster capable of competing at the highest international level, observed this stark contrast in performance firsthand during global exhibition games. They noted how Wilson's scoring efficiency plummeted, exposing her dependence on a very specific domestic officiating system rather than on universal basketball fundamentals. Caitlin Clark, by contrast, embodies a level of offensive independence rarely seen in the sport. Her scoring is built on precision, agility, and the ability to adapt in real time to defensive pressure, contact, and high-stakes environments. She maintains her efficiency regardless of how aggressively she is defended or what the referees call, or fail to call. Clark anticipates contact mid-air, adjusts her shot seamlessly, and consistently converts at an elite level. This self-reliance and adaptability are exactly what international scouts covet. Her performance does not hinge on external validation or favorable rulings. It is rooted in unassailable skill and preparation. Beyond the technical differences, character and composure played an equally critical role in Team USA's decision. Wilson's history of public disputes, particularly her 2-year campaign of undermining Clark, signaled an inability to prioritize team cohesion over personal ego. Coaches evaluating a national roster are acutely aware that off-court behavior can directly impact on-court performance. In high-pressure international tournaments, players must maintain focus, resolve conflicts quickly, and contribute positively to the team dynamic. Wilson's persistent negativity, social media posts, and attempts to diminish Clark's accomplishments revealed the very traits that could disrupt team chemistry under pressure. Clark, on the other hand, demonstrated professionalism, humility, and a relentless focus on her own development. She never engaged in personal attacks or public feuds. Instead, she let her play, her discipline, and her results speak for themselves. This maturity, combined with her exceptional skill set, made her an undeniable choice for Team USA. Her inclusion sends a clear message. International success demands both talent and the ability to navigate complex team dynamics gracefully. In the end, the comparison is stark. Wilson, reliant on situational advantages and prone to ego-driven decisions, was replaced by Clark, whose adaptability, self-sufficiency, and professionalism aligned perfectly with the demands of global competition. This decision is a profound testament to how elite-level basketball is not just about raw talent. It's about preparation, adaptability, and character. Team USA's choice highlights that the players who thrive on the world stage are those who build skill independent of external conditions, who embrace challenge without complaint, and who elevate the team above themselves.
Folks are talking about Asia Wilson, the player on the team where people are abandoning like rats off a sinking ship. Asia Wilson, who has won 2 championships in the WNBA. Asia Wilson, who was crowned MVP before the 2024 season started. Asia Wilson, she's a really good basketball player. But back to culture. I wouldn't want Asia Wilson on my team, or maybe I should turn it around. Since she's Asia Wilson, I wouldn't want to be on Asia.
The contrast between Caitlin Clark and A.A. Wilson could not be more pronounced, particularly when evaluating how their games translate to the international stage. Where Wilson's scoring was often dependent on external factors, referee calls, fouls, and a controlled domestic environment, Clark's offensive arsenal is fundamentally self-reliant. She does not need favorable whistles or specific officiating trends to succeed. Her ability to create separation, maintain elite shooting accuracy, and score under pressure makes her a universally effective offensive force. Pulling up from 30 to 35 feet, executing step-back jumpers, or navigating through aggressive defense, Clark consistently converts in ways that no referee intervention could enhance or hinder. This independence is exactly why international scouts and Team USA coaches placed her ahead in their evaluation. Clark's game is built on principles that transcend any single league. High basketball IQ, impeccable footwork, elite shooting mechanics, and the mental fortitude to remain unshaken in all competitive conditions. During international exhibition matches, her efficiency remained consistent, while Wilson's numbers dramatically declined. Every attempt Wilson relied on to provoke a foul or exploit marginal officiating failed to produce results against global standards. Meanwhile, Clark's ability to read the defense, adjust in real time, and execute precise shots under physical pressure showcased the very qualities that define a player capable of excelling on the world stage. The difference isn't subtle, it's fundamental. One player depends on rules being shaped in her favor, while the other shapes her own success through skill, strategy, and adaptability. Off the court, Clark's character further solidified her position. Unlike Wilson, who engaged in a sustained campaign of undermining a rising star, Clark demonstrated humility, professionalism, and an unwavering focus on her development. She consistently allowed her performance to speak for itself, avoiding the distractions of personal disputes or social media drama. Team USA's coaching staff recognized that success at the international level requires more than skill. It requires maturity, leadership, and the ability to foster team chemistry. Wilson's history of ego-driven actions, petty rivalries, and public criticism of Clark revealed qualities that could compromise team cohesion, particularly in high-pressure tournament settings. Clark's composure and focus, by contrast, guaranteed that she would enhance, not disrupt, team dynamics. The decision to select Clark over Wilson also signals a larger evolution in how elite athletes are evaluated. It is no longer enough to dominate within a single domestic context. Global competence, adaptability, and character are equally vital. Clark exemplifies these traits. She can perform under physical, mental, and situational pressures anywhere in the world, making her a reliable cornerstone for Team USA's future. Her inclusion is not merely a nod to individual talent, but a strategic decision to assemble a team built for sustained global success.